Testing. Let's go ahead and lock in and see where we were at from last week, starting with the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, so it looks like I wanted it to go ahead and hit this uptrend. We went ahead and hit the level, bounced from it a little bit, but this downwards momentum here had everything flush through. So after we flushed through, we came in and retested here and then continued the drop with a little bit pushing to the upside at the end of the week. So the upwards momentum that we have going on is having me wanting to go long. An area that I would go long at, or I would consider going long, would be here for this. And then if it breaks through that, the next level, let me go ahead and delete this, would be right here. For New Zealand dollar, let's see what happened with that. So similar situation. We had that bullish momentum, but it decided to go ahead and continue with the overall downtrend. So when it came and broke through the support demand area right here, we ended up retesting it a couple of times before continuing that drop. And it looks like the drop that we're reacting from, or the zone that we're reacting from, is right here. So I would see that reaching here just to continue the lows. We go ahead and fix that a little bit. These lows here would be the ultimate target just to continue the overall trend. So for pound dollar, it didn't come back to none of these levels. Instead, from that Sunday, what day was this? From that Sunday, we got a pullback. We almost came up in there, but we just missed it just slightly. We did have this retest here. It came from this area here. So instead of coming back to any of these, it just broke, made another low, then retested that, and then continued to drop from there. Right now, we got a little bit of bullish momentum. So with that bullish momentum, let me see here. The next longs, if it doesn't continue to push up from where it's at, I see we just broke this low here. I actually don't like any zones in here. So this is something that I would leave alone. However, let's say price decided to continue going sideways from here, and then we broke and made a low here. I would want to get this retest to continue to the downside, or I would want to see it come in here to this area here and then drop. Continue breaking those. For the euro dollar, looks like I done went and got what I wanted on the news day. So price was going sideways. I was looking for this zone up here to go ahead and get retested. And at first it seemed that I wasn't going to get that. Or you could say that I got that with this. No, I didn't. Looks like we missed it just slightly. Yep. Look at that. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom all the way in. Clearly missed the area. You know what I'm saying? But whatever news event happened on this day, what was this? Inflation news. So inflation news went ahead and spiked me in the short up here. You know what I'm saying? That took me all the way down here to these lows. So if we were looking to take out these lows, this short would have did a let's take the whole area slightly above the zone, taking it to the lows. We're looking at about a 5-to-1 with that. For US Canadian, I wanted to see price go ahead, hit my zone. This was a smaller time frame trade that I took in, one of the 5-minute setups that y'all didn't see me post on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. So this had already happened. Let me see here. So price went ahead, made some structure to the upside, made this order block right here, Had the nice gap with it too. That went ahead and broke this. And now I'm seeing us react from this area over here. So will it go ahead and break to the upside? We'll see. The overall trend is up, but right now we have some bearish momentum. Price has been creeping and crawling, breaking little mini structures inside here to the downside. So we could get this and have this go ahead and crash through and continue pushing on down. You know what I'm saying? So if I was long and I was going with a bigger picture trend play, I'd be looking to go up here. But if I was short, I would actually try to short it from where it's at and then get out around here in the zone. So we'll see how that turns out. As far as the US yen goes, what day was this? Wednesday, it went ahead and got up in my zone. You know what I'm saying? The first zone, not the second. It did not come back for that second zone. So this is probably what, inflation news again that did it? Yep, inflation news went ahead, brought me into the zone over here. We got a nice, beautiful tap in. And as far as the structure break to the upside, we did not get that. And it looks like price gapped today. What is this? 1 hour, 8 o'clock. So we got like what, 3 hours? Yeah, so this is the 5 o'clock candle. Yep. So price gap to the downside. So I don't know what US yen got going on. This would be one of them trades. If I had took this would have made me nervous right here. So my target would be these highs to try to take out the highs, right? But what makes me a little nervous is the fact that we came short of it and we're showing a little bit of bearish momentum here with a gap to the downside and stuff like that. So I would actually, if I was in this, I would actually consider taking up my trades if we got back up here again. Definitely if we broke this low. For US Swiss franc, I think this is some back testing that I was doing. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. What did I mark up from last week? Might not have touched this. This might have been one of the ones I left alone. Anyway, so what is it doing right now? Let's go ahead and delete this. We're trending to the upside. This is probably inflation news again. Price went ahead, wicked underneath the zone, hit the zone underneath. Let me see if it hit the 50% mark of that. Hit the zone underneath and then took off from there. And then broke the structure high. Really, really nice. Beautiful trade. So right now we have bearish momentum. If I was taking the momentum play, I'd be looking for the short from this zone to finish, take out these lows. You know what I'm saying? As far as gold goes, so at first, gold was like, let me go ahead and respect what he got going on. Then it came up to here and said, F you completely. Then looks like it bounced from the second zone a couple of times, gave me some money, and then broke the highs up here. So from the second time, it went ahead and actually hit its target. So when I'm targeting stuff, I'm a trend trader, you know what I'm saying? So I like to aim for the highs, you know what I'm saying? So if this were the trade that I was taking on gold, the target would have been the highs up here. And that would have been a very, very beautiful 10-to-1 thanks to probably inflation news. Yeah, shout out to month over month producer inflation. So right now, what we got going on is, okay, so we broke these lows. We're breaking to the upside. I am bullish on this. Beautiful bullish momentum. Nice little gap right here. We could also take off from this and here, especially if we come back down to that 50% mark. So if price does one of these, I'd be happy. And if price does this, I'd also be happy. You know what I'm saying? But I am not blind to the fact that it could also do this. Come back down here to this bad boy and do that. You feel me? Shout out to silver. So what happened with silver? So it looks like I said I wanted price to continue sideways, come up, and then continue the uptrend. Looks like that wasn't the case. My second option was for it to come down here, retest this level, and then come back up. It didn't do either one of those. It said, forget what you got going on completely. I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do. So with that being said, dang it, I'm tripping. Look at me forgetting my hotkeys, man. Tripping. So same thing with this situation as we got with gold. We got bullish momentum going on. So if price doesn't already take off from where it's at, you know what I'm saying? And we end up taking out these highs here. What I'd like to see is price come here into this area. You know what I'm saying? Maybe come touch that 50% mark. Wow. That's all I'm interested in this right now. So for oil, what we got going on in oil? I wanted to see a buy with oil, but instead it went ahead and broke, retested the second zone, and then said, I'm going to go ahead and drop from there. All right, more power to you. So with that being said, since we going ahead and we got like some bearish momentum going down here, let's go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So from there, since it retested here, I'd like to see this low get taken out. I'm going to go ahead and target this. For NAS 100, shout out to the NASDAQ. Price came and hit this target, but that was sometime last week. That don't got nothing to do with what we got going on here. Looks like price gapped into that too, which is really nice. Price doing a bunch of Watusis this week, but the momentum's to the upside. So with that being said, are there areas that I like? Not really. If I were to do some settling, it would be for this. But I would definitely have to go into a smaller time frame to try and see if I could shapen this up, you know what I'm saying, make it a little bit cleaner. If it breaks that, let me see if this 50% got touched. It did not. So that might be the sexier setup. Personally, I wouldn't touch NAS on the 1 hour chart anyways with this. I am not liking what I'm seeing. Actually, I do like this area. I do like this area because of this right here. I do like this area because of this right here. So if we decide to go ahead and dip in, and I can find a way to go on a smaller time frame to make the risk to reward better on this, I do like that. I'll take it back. I do like it. So as far as US 30 goes, US 30 served us quite well. So I marked off these two levels. I don't think I marked off the 50% mark during the Sunday thingy thing, not the Sunday Zoom, last Sunday's recording. So US 30 went ahead, hit this 50% mark, then went ahead and took out the lows. So that was very nice. This week, we're going to see if it wants to go ahead and continue its bullish momentum. You know what I'm saying? So assuming that we done bounced off from here, I want to see these highs get taken out. For S&P, I think I'm actually in this right now. Yeah, I'm definitely in this right now. For the same reason that I said I like NAS. You see this over here? Because of this over here, and if you're in the mentorship, I'll go in detail on what this is to me and why I like this a lot. So in the mentorship, I go over areas like this, and then once I see certain things happen, then I'm looking for these little particular spots to go ahead and get that snipe in. So if you're wanting to learn how to catch entries like this, go ahead and hit the link in the bio or the description or wherever I got the mentorship thing at. I'd be very, very happy to help you catch monster setups like this. So of course, my target is to go ahead and take out these highs, but depending on how this trade in particular reacts to what I got going up here, I may take some off the table, so on and so forth. I go over that in risk management. You know what I'm saying? Home runs are nice when they happen, but shoot, I'm happy if I can just get me like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, I'm super happy with. You know what I'm saying? I am super happy with it. Now we going into the stocks. So let's go ahead and go to the daily chart. Price didn't bounce back with one of these zones. So let me go ahead and hit control with this. Get rid of all this. Is there an area that I would like NVIDIA to come back and bounce to again? Absolutely. I sure see that we left this gap behind here. So from here to here, we had the gap. It's the gap retest. Let me go ahead and get the up out of here, man. Retested the gap and said, I am gone. If it wanted to come back and give me a kiss, I wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying, hopping in on that, you know. I would really like to see it come back down here. That's what I'd really like to see. But that's wishful thinking at this point. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs. So with this, it would be like, same thing. Come back down in here and then take off. Or I'd be interested if you decided to go ahead and break the highs that you got here. So if it went ahead and broke this and then retested and then continued on upward, I'd like to see that too with Goldman Sachs. Shout out to Wally World. We in the same spot that I wanted to see it take off from last time. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone and just see what it does. Are you going to continue to bounce here? Are you going to break this? Or are you going to do what I want you to do and then continue to go up? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Eli Lilly. So we went ahead, we bounced up in here. Puts is activated. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and drop to these lows real quick. You get anywhere near around this area and lower, I'm cool. I am cool. I'm happy. I am happy. I am happy. Bitcoin. Go ahead and give me a little dip, Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to go to the moon. I know all the crypto people are sitting here cheering for you, waiting for you to rip a fucking hole in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and make a dip real quick, man. Let me hop in, man. Let me hop into Bitcoins, to cryptos. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone. I wanted to do the same thing that it did before. Shout out to Ethereum. Ethereum's been ripping too. We're getting close to catching them all-time highs again. What was the all-time highs at? 4,998. So $4,100 was near where the all-time highs is at. Look, man, quit playing games. Go ahead and dip in. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and drop real quick. Go ahead and drop real quick. But that's it. That is the weekly outlook for the week. Y'all be blessed.